Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Please Call Me Crazy, brought to you by Free People Radio and powered by our favorite sponsor, Tireget.com. That's Tireget.com. You have to buy tires from somebody. You might as well buy them from us. Help fund the movement, help support the movement. We believe in the freedom of movement, and that's exactly what the establishment wants to take from you now. I am your host, Royce White, here in the belly of the beast, Minneapolis, Minnesota, for episode number 92. Episode number 92. I got that right. Fast approaching 100. Today we have another incredible family and friends guest episode. With us today in the studio is none other than the great Jonathan Mason. Welcome to the studio, Jonathan. We appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Jonathan Mason was the campaign manager of my 2022 midterm congressional campaign race against Ilhan Omar. Been in the community many, many years. Well, I'll let you just start off and give us a brief introduction. Jonathan Mason. First off, I wanted to say this why I brought you on the show.
Right.
Let's just get straight into it.
Down the middle.
We don't have to fuck around with the introductions
right,
and the fuck
right.
around.
Over here playing around.
You're talking about two real hitters, two boys now.
Right. Facts.
I had to bring you on the show this week because last couple of weeks, the Donald Trump indictment and then the mugshot obviously sparked the conversation about the potential for black people to vote Donald Trump in 24.
Right.
Are black people opening up to the possibility of voting for Donald Trump in 2024? And if so, how can Donald Trump and the Republican Party, but more so Donald Trump because he's his own entity, the Republican Party is really trying to railroad him.
Right.
How can Donald Trump move the needle in getting the black vote? Is it even possible? And then Jason and I, we had this huge Twitter space that Jason Whitlock hosted, and for the most part, people are like, "Hey, the black vote is open for change right now." And I had to bring you in because you do a lot of work in the community, been in the community for 10 plus years. Recently, you were arrested.
Right.
Yeah. And you got two conservative black men sitting here right now.
Right.
And one of them was arrested by the police protesting against the Ricky Cobb murder that just happened recently. Rest in peace to Ricky Cobb, and prayers and thoughts go out to his family and his loved ones. But you were arrested. And it was funny because I had Rhino extraordinaire, Matt Brodsky, who was the campaign manager for C.C. Davis and works for Elliot Batson, who is the political elite donor money in the city that plays both sides of the aisle. Right. Okay. Right. We're going to get into it.
Oh,
we're not going to play around today. We're going to get right into it.
Right.
But anyway, I had Matt Brodsky jump online and say, look at Royce White's former campaign managers are arrested for protesting with Ricky Cobb.
Right.
These are this speaks volumes about who Royce is. Like almost trying to say, Jonathan Mason is really Black Lives Matter. This is Royce's campaign manager.
Unbelievable.
Look at how that and my simple response to Matt Brodsky was, first of all, you cuck rhino motherfucker, go caucus with the Democrats, number one, because you're actually the Republicans that we want out.
Right.
Jonathan,
grifters.
You're grift. Oh, no.
We'll get into it.
Mega grifters.
Mega grifters.
These dudes are actually taking money.
Real big money. On paper.
$15,000 a month money. Yeah. Big money. Oh, they're siphoning off big money.
Yeah.
To pretend like they're doing politics.
Right.
The whole thing is a scam. C.C. Davis, are you kidding me?
No.
Nobody was going to vote for C.C. Davis in CD5. Right. They knew it. And he and all the other establishment rhinos in CD5, which is supposedly a deep blue district, but really it's a deep, deep rhino district.
Yeah.
I mean, the rhinos are really stopping Ilhan Omar from having anybody really contest her. Why? Because a lot of some Republicans think that Ilhan's great for Congress because they get to raise a bunch of money off of her.
Bingo.
That's one.
That's it.
But the other ones, they don't really disagree with Ilhan.
Right.
Okay, so you got both sides of the coin playing against the America First movement.
If Royce wins, they can't raise money for the Republican side.
Right. And we know that they're siphoning money.
Right.
And we know that a lot of the campaign advisors and the consultants and all of the fundraisers are taking 85 cents on the dollar to bundle Republican voters information. Right?
Yeah.
We learned this on the campaign.
we
For
learned
the first time, I was shocked. I said, wait, you mean to tell me that they have fundraisers who are bundling the names and information of Republican voters, and then they're reaching out to them to get money for campaigns and taking 85 cents on the dollar?
Yeah.
So who's really grifting? We didn't take first off, in our campaign,
We said we wouldn't take it.
we wouldn't take any fundraising help from any people who had ever done a split like that in past elections.
Right. Period.
I told them when they called me, oh, this is the way it goes. Not over here. Shit's stopping right now.
Yeah.
All you motherfuckers got to go. And when this Senate campaign kicks up, that's going to be a huge piece of it. I'm going to go after these people who are cheating the political process and stealing money from the American people through these fundraisers. But anyway, back to my point.
Right.
I say to Brodsky, get the fuck out of here, you rhino cuck Finocchio motherfucker.
Right.
Jonathan Mason are the type of people we want in the Republican Party.
Period.
And you actually are a member of the Republican Party.
The most conservative one out there.
So Brodsky's trying to fence you off as being a Black Lives Matter sympathizer or something like that. And I said, it's the perfect week with the conversation about blacks for Trump and Negroes for Trump.
And niggas for Trump.
And I don't know if we could say niggas for Trump, but niggas for Trump.
Okay, I don't want to say.
We can say niggas for Trump. We say nigga all the time.
Right.
All these black conservatives, they don't say the N-word. I don't really, come on, stop.
Right.
Niggas for Trump. I love it. And I love the nigga who said it.
Right.
I absolutely love it.
No, he's serious.
He's dead serious, and he's 100% on point for the time. Right. We said it jokingly, and he sort of said it jokingly, but in actuality,
we actually need people to come from the Democratic plantation over. And sometimes when you have a Cardi B that says Robin or do something to him, when you see Trump,
what did she say?
She says, "Oh, let's rob a nigga, put something in his drink."
She said, "I will drug a nigga, have sex with him, and then rob him." And what did they give her?
A Grammy.
No. What other award did they give her?
Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year. Drug a nigga, F a nigga, rob a nigga. Woman of the Year.
It's unbelievable.
It's out of control.
So when we see these type of groups pop up, like niggas for Trump, it's catchy. There will be some dynamic of people saying, well, I can't really say it, but we might just say, hey, just say it. Right now, they're saying it in a whole different direct way, and there's no more more pro-black people in the state of Minnesota, like I say, than myself or Royce White. So we can go however we want to.
We really come from the neighborhood. So a lot of these black folks that are running these nonprofits, a lot of these black folks that are doing community work, or they're activists. I don't even like those words, because really, if you're in the community, you're in the community. If you're from the community, you're from the community. If you have ties and roots in the community, they speak for themselves. Like me, it's funny, me and Jonathan Mason will be somewhere, and we'll run into somebody who we didn't know or didn't meet together, know from two different angles of life, but that's just what it means to be a community. Right?
Facts.
And so, a lot of these people aren't really from the community. They didn't grow up in the community. They really don't have any interest in the community, right?
Right. And then when they see us speaking conservatively, it throws a whole different dynamic, because if you know Royce and you watched him play basketball and you see him grow up in the community, and he's telling you these vaccines might kill you, people say, well, hold on now. Look, hey, Royce is somebody that we know, and he's been telling the truth. Now, Yeah. So if we have a local radio station promoting it with them 3 cents mask, and Royce is saying, nah, it ain't gonna work.
Who's promoting it?
The Camo Jays.
Oh, the Camo Jays of the world.
The people, they're still actually doing it.
No, what do they call themselves?
The People Station.
The People Station. 89.9 Camo J, the People Station, promoting the vaccine. Mayor de Blasio. The first, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to
that in a minute.
We'll go everywhere.
Tell me about the Ricky Cobb situation.
Okay.
Your involvement in the protests. The arrest.
Yeah.
And how on earth Matt Brodsky thinks this makes you unqualified or persona non grata for Republicans.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you. So first, there's no one more conservative right than myself, right? I actually was with you out in Boston, Massachusetts. Met up with Jaylen Brown. You were out there for the big three.
Mhm.
I go on my Facebook Live and I see a girl out there. She's live feeding. And the traffic was all backed up, and they said a man was murdered in the middle of the night. So I'm looking at it. I'm paying attention. They said, well, the guy, he pulled off with the vehicle. There was the reports that there was shots fired from the vehicle, but you police weren't really saying that. That was really hearsay. So I'm saying, okay, let me pay attention to what's going on. Me and you've been through this several different times, so we
Mhm.
always want to wait till the evidence is there. We want to see what the BCA is going to do, just because we're not running around there with our fist up saying no justice, no peace, just to make a scene like BLM.
Right.
And we'll circle back
Right.
on BLM because I'm one of the guys that took them down. In
If
the
there's
Twin Cities.
actually a situation where the cops have stepped outside of the appropriate limits of their authority as
Correct.
peacekeeping officers,
Right.
citizens should step up and protest and challenge that. Don't mean you should be with BLM. Doesn't mean you're
No,
co-signing BLM.
no.
BLM does not have a monopoly
No.
on pushing back against the government or their corporate security guards.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
Facts.
Okay.
And they're actually, when we all tie it together, they're actually on the same team working.
100%.
We'll connect the dots on that back end. But
get to it.
And so we're here. I say, let's just wait. I see the video.
Mhm,
Now,
mhm.
everybody knows I have a criminal justice degree. I've went through protocols. I understand law
The people,
enforcement.
wait, the people watching don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in the community
Yeah.
here locally, they know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they know. This is the crazy dynamic.
Mhm,
I'm a biracial male.
mhm,
I call myself the Black Scandinavian,
mhm.
um, which is crazy.
Black
But
Vikings.
yeah, Black
Yeah,
Vikings.
me too.
Yeah, that's
Uncle
why
Alfred, Big Norway.
Yeah, Big Norway,
Yeah.
big Swede,
Yeah.
Big Scott. So I see the video. I break it down. Takes me 2 seconds to break it down. I said, "That's it. That's it. We're going down there. I'm going to figure out what's going on." See, now, was the car is it deemed a deadly weapon? Yes, right. A car is deemed a deadly weapon,
Mhm.
but this is where your intellect has to come in. If the vehicle is leaving a situation or fleeing you, and you're not in real and immediate danger, just because it is a deadly weapon doesn't mean you run and trip and fall and fire off 2 shots while your partner's right across. Right. First of all, he broke multiple protocols. The first protocol was he reached into the car and pulled it and didn't go to disable the vehicle. He went straight to his firearm.
Say it. No, explain it. Explain what the protocol is.
The protocol is you immediately go disable the vehicle, because you would put yourself in danger if you don't do that, right?
Because if the vehicle starts moving, you're in danger.
You're in danger.
Right.
Now, his partner, so there were 3 officers. See, this is the difference between myself and the Black Lives Matter movement. They're calling for all 3 officers to go to jail. His officer almost got killed. His partner almost got killed. I'm hearing reports right now. The partner said, "Hold on, I was in a line of fire." We have to really talk about real protocol, right?
Yeah.
Then when we look at we do hear pieces of humanizing policing. What does that look like? Now, there was 3 officers there on the scene. All 3 of you guys got out the vehicle. One of you guys supposed to sit back. We got a radio. It's 2:30 in the morning. No cars on the road. We can go get him,
Yeah.
right? So fire off 2 shots. They kill Ricky. He's dead. Okay. Now, we've talked about this many times. And this goes to the dynamic of what Black men see in the community versus what everybody else sees, right? We'll talk about the situation behind it, because their excuse to pull him out of the vehicle was that there was a domestic for questioning. Okay.
Back up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little touch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you ain't got to be right up on it.
Okay. Because
it's a good mic. It can hear you.
I see these shirts are beautiful mics.
It can hear you. Okay. Keep going.
So he has
Domestic. There was a domestic
call.
No, there was a domestic hold for questioning.
For questioning.
For questioning.
For only questioning.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Ricky,
From the baby mama.
from one of the baby mamas.
One
He has
baby
3 of
mama.
them,
Black baby mama.
but the Black baby.
The black woman.
So now
So the black woman calls the
he has
police on the
3
black
baby
man.
moms, 2 white,
He
1
gets
black.
killed. Black woman calls the police on the
This is the
black
story.
man. He gets killed in the process because. Okay, keep going.
A domestic hold. So this gives the police intent to elevate the situation as in what they did.
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily did it the way that they did, but they had to get him out there. Did Ricky make the right decision that day? Absolutely not. He's dead now. So there, you can't get him back. He made a life-altering decision that day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we see protocol around when police can kill, this goes to, remember in 2020, we were talking about who would be the people administering the door-to-door shots if the vaccines come back around again, which they look like they're coming. Now, who would it be? Would it be the white coats coming door to door?
No, it's the brown shirts.
It's the brown shirts. So when we looked at the numbers when the military had to go get the shots and see if the soldiers were going to fight for us in the Marines.
Did they?
Or 98% of them took the shot. These are their numbers, not mine. The police, you ask the police, the conservative police, the boys in blue, the ones that are
What'd they do? How many?
99%. Pull the statistic. If I'm off 1 or 2%, that's the reality. Okay. They're coming. They won't be the safeguard for us. Okay. So I know black men have a keen. We see bullshit when we see it.
And we've been telling y'all the whole time, y'all have this.
Who arrested Donald Trump? Look, the same people who arrested Donald Trump are the same people who marched him out of Atlanta, Georgia. We've got to pay attention to the whole dynamic of the system.
This is what's crazy about it. Oh man, hold on. That shit is so funny to me because it's just so clear. And this is where the rubber is really gonna meet the road for the conservative movement.
It is.
You know, and there is, and I'm glad we're talking about it in this context because when we're really talking about blacks for Trump or the black vote being open, which is essential. See, the problem in the country right now is there's a huge conservative movement that wants to say, we don't need the black vote. It's only 13% of the country. Mm-hmm. Stop. First off, get the fuck out of my, I said on Wednesday night, I'm kicking people in the back. Get the fuck out of my way. We're in a foxhole. We're in a war and bullets are flying. We're in an asymmetrical cultural political war with China. We're in an asymmetrical cultural political war with European Finocchios and DC elites here, Wall Street brokers, banksters. We're in an asymmetrical war all over the place.
Right.
Bullets are flying. If you come with that bullshit, I don't have time to separate out whether you're ignorant or in on it.
Right.
I'm just going to assume that you're in on it.
Right.
And I'm kicking you in the back, get the fuck out of my way.
Right. And you say, I'm glad
and what I'm saying is these people who would even start from a place that you don't need the black vote, it's so stupid. I gotta think you're saying it on purpose. I don't believe people are that stupid.
No, they're not.
I actually don't believe.
Where's the Democratic Party at?
That people are that dumb. I have trouble believing that. Now, your average political candidate, your average political industry person, whether it be advisors or consultants or whatever, they actually believe the propaganda. They actually believe that people are that stupid, or at least that's what they'll say on the record. Right. No, people are that dumb. No, the fuck they're not.
Right. They told us all the time when we were fundraising. They're really that dumb.
They use being, and don't get me wrong, with America, there has been a dumbification of the American populace. I'm not saying that they're not dumb in general.
Right.
But they're not that dumb.
Right.
Anybody with half a brain can look at the runoff for the control of the Senate there in Georgia and see that a 40 to 50,000 vote split is the greater Atlanta area. If you can't see that, get the fuck out of my way.
Right.
Okay, so if we got that down, in every metropolitan area, whether the election is going to be fair or they cheat, black people is
the margin of error.
As a group is the margin of error, and they're going to become the revolving door to justify anytime you need more votes.
Anytime.
And if black people, by and large, all across the country, are even real on the fence about their politics, nobody questions it when they throw the votes in the Democrats' way.
Bingo.
Because that's the history.
That's the history.
Now we get to where we are right now.
Bingo.
Policing. The conservatives have to get right about policing. This back the blue cuckery must come to an end.
Yeah.
And even furthermore, I'm going to say this as unapologetic as I can, but with all due respect.
Right.
This back the military shit has to come to an end.
Well,
everybody, every citizen, no matter what service you've done, no matter what role you've played, you have to come to the game and play today. You don't get no points for what you did yesterday. You don't get no points for what you did 10 years ago. When LeBron James can't run up and down no more, it's time to hang it up, buddy. You got to go sit down.
Claiming points for Iraq.
Oh, they're claiming points for all of the corrupt wars. But we get there.
But we respect the service that they did.
My point is,
right.
What you're saying and what you're pointing out that I think black people are open to talking about, that conservatives can jump on board with without really giving up too much of their position. It's like, what does it say that we're all in the leading energy on the grassroots of the conservative movement is the pushback against tyranny. Most of all, COVID.
Right.
Vaccine mandates, lockdowns.
Yeah.
Or censorship.
Yeah.
Right? Or even a little bit lower than that is data collection, right? Privacy. All of those things are a law enforcement and banana republic kangaroo court issue. Right? And they all work together. The courts, the police, the corporations, the Black Lives Matter activists, the politicians that run on crony capital money. It's all one little ecosystem. Go ahead.
When you have a military industrial complex, right, that promotes getting young black men into the military. So you have to remember, our military, a lot of people say, oh, we have these military, it's majority conservative white men. No, there's a lot of black men that are looking for a free college ride that are rolling in there with them. And their ideologies are sticking, right? Now the ideologies have completely changed. The head of the Air Force is wearing a dress, right? We have a lot of different things that are happening right now. And when it's time to say, you know what, hook, line, sinker, everybody has to get the vaccine, it's going to be the National Guard. It's going to be the boys in blue, the red, white, and blue boys coming. And they're going to say, hey, you know what, door to door, this is not our orders. The commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, said you have to do it.
Yeah, let's just throw it out there.
It's coming.
I can't drive it home enough. I want to, without saying it, I want to try and be the Paul Revere for people who are seeming to have a problem, because the conservatives have a problem with this
right now.
They can't. It's almost like they don't believe the tyranny is actually coming, which is hard to believe, because at the same time they'll go on Twitter, Facebook, Truth Social, Getter, whatever else is, and they'll say the tyranny is already here, or the tyranny has already been here. But at the same time, you go back the military blindly. But
because these are people within our community. See, another thing.
But why didn't the military? Why didn't the military? Why don't the sheriffs? Why don't the sheriffs keep their oath, which actually gives them jurisdiction and autonomy outside of the governor's power and certain other agencies and government bodies? The sheriffs actually have a certain level of autonomy. They're supposed to even.
Right.
Why didn't the sheriffs say we're not taking the vaccine? What about the Delta Force guys? Everybody wants to talk about their service and their courage, and I'm not saying going to war isn't courageous. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's sacrifice, people who were killed. It's a brave thing to put on a uniform and say, I want to go and fight and willing to die on behalf of my country. It's a coward thing to do that. It's disrespectful to yourself to do that and then come home and have the government push a vaccine and you take it.
And this is what and going back to the black complex of it all is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali said, hold on, the Viet Cong, the brown people, they didn't do nothing to me. You think I'm going to go over there and go kill them? When we found out that Vietnam was really about France and rubber and all that, he said, hold on, I'm not going over there. I'll go sit down. Now, there was really no difference between Donald Trump because he kind of really skipped out on the same thing, right? So,
draft dodger is what they want to call it.
Well, they called it for Muhammad Ali. They're not saying the same thing for Trump, and these are the same people. So what we're starting to see is a hypocritical
the
point.
Race divide is still there, no matter how much they want to say it's not.
Right.
This is the issue. I said it on Wednesday.
Right.
I said, look, everybody gets to choose how the country goes down now. Make your choice, live with your fucking decision. If you can't get behind, I gave the reparations proposal package that I was talking about with American manufacturers.
Oh yeah, right.
I said no cash. We'll open the reparations up to any race that had slaves in their lineage.
Right.
Let's make it fair.
Yeah.
If you were white and you was Irish slaves, Italians,
open it up.
Chinese,
who cares? They're
Mexicans, doesn't matter. If you were a slave, You come, you get reparations. We're not giving you cash because we're bankrupt.
Right.
And you shouldn't take cash because it's bankrupt.
Right.
We're going to give you land, and we're going to go give you the tools you need to refortify the nation.
Oh, that's it.
Every block you come down as an American citizen that is in charge of his own food, that owns his own land, that is in charge of his own security, and has his own renewable energy source. We know that there are, in fact, technologies that are highly sustainable energy sources that they're not really letting us touch.
Yeah. So let us use our little whales.
America would be a force to reckon with. Nobody want to fuck with us. Nobody want to fuck. 350 million.
Fortified
nation of shopkeepers with the Second Amendment. Who do you think is going to come fight us first when we try and do that?
No one.
No.
Oh.
Who's the only people that could come fight us?
China.
No.
Who?
Our own military.
Oh, well, yeah. See
our own mercs.
Hey.
Our own boys that do the black ops and the special. Who do you think they're going to send to try and kill the Steve Bannons and Donald Trumps? You think they're going to
Alex Jones told us.
You think they're going to go hire the Saudis to come smoke Donald Trump? No. They're going to use the blackout group. They're going to use the mercs that have no tag.
The one that got JFK.
But they speak American English, right? Or they might call up Mossad, or they might call up MI6. But that's all the West. Right. I mean, that's all our interest.
The Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So my point is, we talk about American independence. We talk about American sovereignty. We talk about American citizenship and freedom and liberty. But we have such a deep, deep affection for the rule of law and for our military men in service when really it's clear. Just like with the 501c3 Christians. If the Christians and the military had held the ground where they were supposed to, there's no way we'd be a country run by Satanists and fucking fucking Ponzi schemers.
And that's how you know that there has been an infiltration of our country as a whole at the highest level where true Americans aren't in charge no more. We cast our vote. Now they're saying, is voting rigged? Now, I'm telling you, if there's a landslide and Trump, whether he goes to jail or not, he wins in jail, right? Or somebody else wins. But say if he wins, right? And everybody, we're checking all the votes. We got all our poll watchers out there. Everybody's saying it's a landslide Trump. And Biden or somebody else wins. And people say, my citizenship, I can't even use my voice as my vote. They're going to become violent and upset. And so we have that approach. And they know, whether it's another lockdown, they say masks are coming in September, a new round of vaccines and shutdowns come in October. This is what they're all saying. TSA, the leaker, Alex Jones, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, Target built 24 new, drive-up stations.
It's coming, right?
It ain't for the online orders. I promise you that. It ain't the online orders.
And we were crazy when we said Johnson & Johnson was causing clotting and it was going to get off the market. And now it's nowhere to be found, right?
Johnson & Johnson.
It's gone. It's only Pfizer and now Moderna. Yeah, and they have the new one right now coming. Right. So Johnson's off. 20 million.
Joe Biden, he was on the record recently saying we got a new.
He already signed the proposal.
Version of the vaccine that works.
It's approved.
That works.
That works. Yeah. It didn't work before.
Freudian slip. Well, he didn't say it didn't work before, but he definitely said the new one works.
Right. And so now, especially the black people, community right now.
Who was the most unvaccinated?
They said the blacks.
The Negroes.
The Negroes.
The niggas for Trump. The niggas for Trump were the most unvaccinated people in the country. Them and the PhDs. The people who had PhDs, right? So the people who are in the community where the vaccine science comes from.
They didn't take it.
They said...
And conservative black men didn't say it.
You think I trust John? I mean, I know John. He's a fucking degenerate. I mean, he's a fucking cocaine.
That's how they talk to him.
I don't trust John. No. If John, then I fuck him.
Right.
He's fucking.
I know what he's doing.
He gambles his fucking mortgage away.
Right.
He might have no back child support because that's kind of our issue. But he fucking gambles like a degenerate. Does coke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything he's involved with.
Right.
The PhDs for some reason had this unanimous consensus. This shit ain't adding up.
It ain't adding up.
I mean, the audacity that they tell you to listen to the authoritative experts, but all of the people who have the highest form of education all say, I'm not taking it.
I'm not taking it. And the moment, and
how dumb do we look?
And you and me, we talked about it, about Deborah Brinks and Tony Fauci when we knew, and especially black people in Atlanta, should have known.
Proceed. Go ahead.
Should have known that they were the heads on the AIDS project. So where did they try these experiments and vaccines? This was in Africa. So a lot of this stuff, the black community is already talking about. I was blowing the whistle and we were saying, hold on, this is the same guy that was giving everybody the AIDS vaccines and they were dying, right? And is this tailored? Because we talked about the Tuskegee experiment. We talked about these things. So our antennas were already up, right? We're the only black men that really actually led the George Floyd movement, heterosexual black men in the city. Mm-hmm. And then they were calling us white supremacists. Because we were for Donald Trump, all right? The most pro-black individuals here.
Niggas for Trump.
Yeah.
And George Floyd. That's a movement that they can't stand.
They can't stand.
They can't stand that one. I mean, that really makes us kind of a rather unique breed.
There's not many of us.
I feel alone.
Right.
I feel real lonely here in the middle.
Right.
Because these motherfuckers on this side of me too, these motherfuckers on this side of me, they hear George Floyd and they freak out.
They freak out. He died of fentanyl.
Yeah. Where'd the fentanyl come from?
Okay, I'm glad you said this.
Same people that make the vaccine.
Okay, we always talk about the fentanyl comes from China, right? And we got to break this down.
Yeah,
you only hear this type of stuff on Joe Rogan's and stuff like this.
Go ahead.
But please call us crazy, okay?
Yeah, call us crazy.
It comes from China. Everybody knows they have the patent on fentanyl. Who does China give it to? Johnson & Johnson. So they have to give it to Johnson & Johnson. There has to be some oversight of this much fentanyl that keeps on mysteriously going to the cartel in Mexico. So you mean to tell me there's enough fentanyl in Johnson & Johnson in China that flies its way down to Juarez, Mexico and hits the border, and some black guy in the hood selling it for $2 a pill is the guy bringing it all in?
And the grown up and mature thing to admit is whether it was fentanyl or not, whether the fentanyl comes from China or not, had fentanyl not been in the marketplace, George Floyd being a historical drug user could have and likely would have resulted in him being high on some other drug.
Right, crack.
Anyway.
They would have said he's a crackhead.
Could have been coke, could have been speed, could have been
Percocets.
meth, could have been anything.
Right.
But the point that people are trying to make, like Steve Bannon, and I think Steve Bannon's done a great job to be a straight arrow on these type of discussions, is like, look at the circumstance of his life. And I think when you look at the circumstance of his life overall, fentanyl is just one piece that you could look at and say the American dream for black people has been shipped and is now manufactured in China. Yeah, and
we say that China killed him. So and it throws people's heads off.
And he was COVID-19. Well, Dr. Fauci killed him.
COVID-19.
Well, stop.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Fauci responsible? I mean, let's talk about it.
Right.
I mean, let's just be realistic. Are we responsible?
See, but when you say that, so I'm glad you said that.
All of us gave our fucking tax money to a bunch of overeducated, underintelligent motherfuckers who promote their expertise and their education as a means to do whatever the fuck they want, and we pay 50 cents on the dollar to taxes to people that eventually end up killing us with their narcissism, with their arrogance, with their incompetence, with their self-doubt and self-hatred.
Yeah.
I had COVID. You got COVID.
Yeah.
George Floyd, they said, had COVID when he died.
He was out moving around getting stuff at the store.
Maybe, and listen. Let's keep it funky. Take the fentanyl out, take the COVID out. Maybe he does survive. I'm not saying that the COVID and fentanyl did.
Right. He probably did contribute to him being on the pavement at 90 degrees with a knee on his neck for 20 minutes and him breathing and overanalyzed and
I mean, look, the human body is not the human body is not a black and white matter.
No.
Yeah, no.
Anything could happen.
People, and that's another thing. People's sense of how resilient the human body is, but also how vulnerable it can be, and how quick your health can deteriorate from.
You eat one bad thing, you can die.
A combination of circumstances, let alone one anomalous unique circumstance, right? Like
Right.
you eat some bad shellfish, you get, food poison, you're gone.
Right.
Or E. coli. Or, I was watching the news the other day and they said there was this new flesh-eating disease that killed 5 people in Florida recently.
Right.
Just flesh from fresh water dumping into salt water. There's a flesh-eating bacteria. Or now in the fresh water, you jump in and there's a brain-eating perineum that swims up the brain when you jump in, and people die from that. I mean, nobody is really the real scam is that the mainstream media has been commissioned and done a brilliant job of making sure everybody's general sense of fear and anxiety is kept to a minimum. That's what the police help do. That's what the military help does. That's what the academic institutions help do. That's what the nightly news helps to do. All of it is to manage people's
around their chaos.
Okay, now that's the next layer.
Yeah.
The first thing is to keep everybody's general sense of anxiety at a reasonable level, which is a reasonable thing to try and do. The problem is when you lie to people and they walk outside and they see that what you said is not true, now their reaction is worse than if you had told them the truth in the beginning.
Bingo. And that's where I was going to go at.
Go ahead.
Because, see, that's the dynamic. This system has all of these Hollywood, music, the whole 9 yards all around it to keep you in this state of suppressing the truth with inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you start hearing truth tellers like a Royce or myself or others come in, then now your anxiety gets up high because you're saying, hold on, this is co-aligning with what I believe in my heart, but everything around me is telling me something different. So
almost tells you that it's a danger to believe the truth.
Yeah. They were looking at me crazy when I said the blue mask, you guys, come on. I got kicked out of the hospital for it because I said,
Tell the story.
I go up there, everybody says there's huge lines.
Tell the story. Why were you at the hospital?
I was at the hospital because my wife actually was sick. Okay. She was just had a cold and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. I'm in there. I go to first. So my wife is pregnant, right? She's dehydrated.
First off, black man married
to a white woman
with 5 kids,
with 5 children.
Okay.
Love my children to death. Doing amazing.
All 5 kids. Oh, well, you got 1 kid by another, but 4.
Got divorced.
You
got remarried.
4.
Yep. I got 3.
Right?
Yeah, no, I got 5.
5 now.
I had 2 boys during all the madness.
2 boys over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So she's with my last son, dehydrated. COVID still ramped up through the roof. I go up to North Memorial Hospital. I go into the waiting room. Hold on, my wife's not feeling good. Hey, we got to get her in here. We got insurance. What's going on? We get in there. The waiting room is jam packed. Gunshot victims, blood leaking out. I'm saying, oh man, people dying in the waiting room. What's going on? They tell me, hospital's backed up, COVID. I'm saying, hold on. So,
hold on, wait.
The rooms are all taken.
So wait. Somebody was shot in the lobby?
Sitting there shot in the leg.
Was it a black man?
Black man.
Boom. Black man.
No priority.
Black man shot in the lobby, dying in the lobby because of COVID.
Because of COVID. Okay, listen to this. Now we have people that are actually sick. Babies are sitting there. I'm like, then they got people in the back right now. They say they got COVID. They laughing, giggling, having a good old time, saying, yeah, I tested positive. Hey, can't do nothing.
So wait.
This is the reality.
So wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're in the ER now? A lot of people.
North Memorial Hospital, the hospital I was born in. I almost didn't make
names. He's naming names on the North Memorial. And listen.
I was on camera there. So
listen. So you mean to tell me you're in the ER?
Yeah.
This ain't the ICU. Now remember, the hospital, there's a hospital, but the real hospital is in the hospital.
It's in the hospital.
You come to the emergency room department. That's like the lobby of the whole hospital.
Right.
There's people upstairs getting brain surgery on aneurysms and all kinds of. The hospital is in the hospital. The ER is the waiting room to see if you need to get to
the hospital,
the ICU or the trauma center or whatever. You mean to tell me there's people who tested positive for COVID,
right,
in the ER,
in the emergency
back
room.
there in a room,
kicking it, apple
having
juice,
fun, apple juice, crackers,
I'm recording them.
And they got a black man sitting out in the lobby with a gunshot wound.
Gunshot.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So we're out there. I'm having a fit. This is a white woman now. I picked my wife up. This is a white woman. Should in America should have priority. I throw over I put her in a wheelchair. I bring her in. Hey, we got to get her in. She's damn near passing out, right? So I go through the double doors. I go through the emergency room. I'm going back there to go look. It's every other room. Well, protocol. We have to have every other room for COVID.
So it wasn't full.
It wasn't full.
The COVID protocols were causing them to keep a certain number of rooms allocated in case COVID surged.
Yes, and in the news they were saying, you guys are the ones, the unvaccinated are the ones causing all this pain in the hospitals because you guys are coming in and they're infecting everybody else. Well, now hindsight knows that COVID recipients of the vaccine shed COVID. They're actually the super spreaders, right?
Shedding virus.
Right. So
we're getting pulled off YouTube for sure for this.
No, I'm sorry, you guys.
You can't say vaccinated people are super spreaders.
They can't.
But this is Please Call Me Crazy.
Yeah.
So we don't really give a fuck.
And this is what the science said.
If you pull us down, we'll put up another YouTube channel on you bitch ass motherfuckers.
Right. And I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead. No, keep going. Say
right.
what you want.
So that's their science, not mine. So they shouldn't take it down. So we
didn't do it.
No, we didn't.
Niggas didn't do it.
No.
Negroes, we didn't do this.
We didn't do it.
We didn't create vaccines. I know Robert Malone.
I was screaming
well.
this is a white on white
Robert
crime.
Malone. We didn't create mRNA vaccines. We didn't create the mechanism in which they're distributed.
Look how many black people work in Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer.
Nothing to do with the way that this vaccine was developed, the way it was distributed, and the results from it.
But
so why can't we can't talk about it? It's not on us.
Who did they say was going to be most affected though by COVID?
Black people.
And so when they promoted this to the black community,
no,
who was the first organization?
Hold on. They told niggas in New York City that they should come and get what was it? I think was it Burger Fi or was it Smash Burger or My Burger or one of them burger spots?
Yeah.
Come get a burger and you get a free fry if you're vaccinated.
Oh.
A burger and a fry.
But remember, go all the way back
shake.
to how it stopped. The NBA, remember who started it?
Rudy Gobert.
They came out, he laughed, touched the mics. They almost wanted to kick him out of the NBA for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he didn't take it serious. And the NBA is the one who triggered all of the corporations and everybody to stop the lockdown because the refs, I remember watching the game and they were saying, what's happening? The refs are coming out, and they shut everybody down, and everybody start leaving out of the arena.
And the commentator said, "This is unprecedented. It looks like the game's been canceled."
That's where it started, right? And so they use us until you go all the way to the end. You have Juvenile, 400 degrees, saying, "Vax that ass up. You a bad. I ain't talking to you if you ain't vax that thing. If you a bad motherfucker, won't you vax that thing up?"
Yeah.
They start paying him money. Yeah. I knew right then and there. Hold on.
When they giving people from Magnolia, Louisiana money,
Baby and them quit paying them, and now Pfizer's paying them.
To promote corporate products, corporate pharmaceutical products.
Black antennas go up.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
They ain't never gave you niggas money before.
Right.
Pfizer ain't never. They might give it to the TV stations that's giving the product that could we'll give TNT. Or we'll give ESPN some money,
right.
And they can give it to the NBA, who then in turn is going to give it to some. But they ain't never came straight to the hood, door to door,
like
with burgers and fries and money.
Right.
Okay.
And they were promoting, which is ironic, the Johnson & Johnson to black people, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is off the market. Yes, 20 million people took it. Yes, there's a lot of things that happened. But going back to the story with my wife and why I got kicked out was, I go in there, I'm saying, hold on, you guys. We got real people that are really sick out here. We need to get them in. They weren't going for it. The police are almost the ones good. They were going to arrest me. They were sticking up for the doctors and saying, I said, come on, you guys, you boys in blue, this is funny, ain't it? Republican type of talk? Sir, we've told you already. I said, oh, that's it. I took my wife. I brought her out to Maple Grove. They got her in. And we're not going to say no names, but they looked out for us there. Didn't have to take any crazy, weird things.
So when you're at the hospital in the black community, where all the gunshot wound victims go, you get treated
Full stop.
like a pariah, even though you're white. Your wife is white.
Blonde hair, blue
white
eyes.
Woman.
Yeah.
Even she's getting treated like a second-class citizen because she's a little too close to the hospital in the hood.
The hood.
Okay.
So we go out. So it's right in the middle.
Maple Grove, you get a different treatment.
Whole different treatment.
Yeah, I know that. I've experienced that too.
And it was helpful. It was a nice, calm environment.
Yeah.
Got her. They did a wonderful job.
I was just
at
Maple Grove, actually. I went to the Maple Grove ER the other because my chest I was having shortness of breath and shit.
Yeah, and
they was smooth. They was good.
They're good. And
they want to put some in my IV. I said, nah, you got to hold that. Nothing going in no IVs now.
Nothing intrusive.
We're past that. You give me the eye test, doc. Touch me. Pause. Touch me and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Am I dying?
You're good.
Don't put nothing in my IV. I'm not going for that. Oh, that not well stoning me.
Not here.
Not here. Not now. Not right here.
And
right
we talk
now.
about that too.
Yeah. But what I'm asking you is, I'm saying
and let's go back to the voting.
You guys got to realize about Jonathan, and we're going to start to have him on the podcast more often. Me and Jonathan, actually, he's going to start his own show, the Jonathan Mason Show. That's coming soon. That was another reason why I wanted you to come on today, to introduce you guys to Jonathan. The Jonathan Mason Show is going to be electric. He's much more entertaining than I am. You see, when I get with him, I'm much more, excited than I usually am.
Well, you're my brother, man.
My podcast, Please Call Me Crazy, is real chill. You know, I kind of just, go through the paces.
No, I call you and be like, hey, man, you just tore him up again.
My man Jonathan is he's full-blown excitement. And what y'all got to know about him is he will walk into any establishment, any institution, and start taking over in a heartbeat and start talking common sense. It could be a restaurant. It could be a basketball tournament.
It don't matter.
It could be a hospital.
A church.
It could be the middle of a protest, a church. He gonna come. So when he tells you he walked behind the double doors, went through the double doors, and started giving orders to the ER doctors, I can actually see him doing it.
Facts.
I'm there with him. I'm seeing it. Trust me when I say this is no cap, as they say in the hood.
Right.
It's 100% the way he does things.
And and I appreciate you letting me come on this platform and doing it. And this is a beautiful studio. Yeah. But we've been talking about this for years, right? Yeah, and we've cut through all the madness, the bullshit, as they say. And going back to your black vote for Trump, right?
Yes.
We got to really, I look at all the statistics and you say, okay, what's the first time around him and Biden? Donald Trump got 8%, right? And a lot of the black men, heterosexual black men, they're mad at us, right? Many of us out that 13%, we said, hold on, hey, this is too much. They're saying men can have babies. There's black folks in the hood say, hell no, don't say that goofy shit around here, right? and that's beautiful because that when they do try to push these agendas or a BLM, a lot of people like Matt Brodsky, because he's not from the community, wouldn't know that majority of the people inside of the hood, especially black men, gangsters who actually love guns, they're more conservative than many of you guys. They got kids. They don't believe in abortion. They love their guns, right? Mm-hmm. But they have a weird sense of policing, getting pulled up behind them with a blunt. At the same time, we have a mayor in Minneapolis, who is buying dispensaries in the same day that Ricky Cobb II got killed, is playing like he's learning how to smoke and roll a blunt right down in the city, right?
So they want to demonize marijuana.
And now he's making money from him and Ryan Winkler. They're both making fist over money. They're selling drinks of THC drinks for $10, $15.
This is the same mayor that got ran off the block when the George Floyd stuff happened. The black women ran him off the block like a little cuck.
Yeah. And now he's with them, throwing his ass in a circle at the Pride.
Backing that ass up.
Yeah. Now
Juvenile. I think it might have been Juvenile playing. Yeah. I'm just playing.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't. But he was twerking. They call it twerking. Yeah. He had hands on his knees, hands on your knees.
Grown ass man.
Yeah, and he comes in.
Wife and kids twerking out there on the street for political capital.
And so when
these are your leaders,
and the black community knows how we're talking. So when I come to the black North Minneapolis, I'm saying, look, I'm out here for Ricky Cobb II. We seen the video. I waited. I'm not just out there running around like BLM. But the mayor's out here shaking his ass and throwing it in a circle. When I tell these guys in the hood this, they're saying, hey, look, man, Mason, what we got to do now? What time is it? What political party do I align with? And I tell them, no, you're coming back conservative. They always tell you MLK, he was conservative. They tell you Malcolm X, he was conservative. Mm-hmm. Fred Hampton, conservative, right? They took the Rainbow Coalition, and we laugh about this all the time. He actually had the Rainbow Coalition.
The first Rainbow Coalition.
The real Rainbow Coalition, right? That's us, black folks. But they stole the rainbow and turned it.
Culturally appropriated it.
That's what they exactly
The first
did.
the first use of the rainbow for the LGBTQIA LMNOP plus movement wasn't until the 1980s, late 70s.
Yeah.
Fred Hampton was
out the gate.
Early 70s. Actually, it
60s.
was opportunistic appropriation of the rainbow icon from black people.
And we see this in Minnesota, right? And we had such a big movement. You see, a lot of the work that we've done, we didn't go to the police departments. We went to the Federal Reserve. So you and me we were telling Jerome about, hey, look, we know inflation's coming. We seen the egg prices. We know it's coming. We know gas prices are going to go up. And people were looking at us like you always say, like we had three eyes, right? We made it theatric. We had
who was specifically looking?
The liberal white women.
Okay, let's be specific.
And we had chains out there for.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of black people in the country right now, and this is my point to all the conservative strategists who don't think that the black vote really has any opportunity. They're using it as an excuse to keep the Republican Party old and docile. Okay, no disrespect to the boomers out there. We love you. Right. Get off your fucking ass, die with some sacred honor.
Right.
You're never too old to grow a set of principles, as Professor Penn would say.
Right.
Get off your fucking ass because the time is now. Don't leave us a shit show that you fucking boomers started, because that is what happened.
That's what happened.
You should have stopped Nixon. You should have stopped Carter. You should have stopped Clinton. You should have stopped all these, the Bushes. That was all y'all.
Nixon sent our jobs.
By the time I was able to vote, Barack Obama was already going in his second term. So that lets you know.
Barack Obama was the first one I could have voted for.
Barack Obama was going in his second term when I turned 21, when I turned 18.
And now we got to
sorry, when I had missed his first election in 2009. I was just turning 18, but I wasn't 18 yet.
So you had to wait to
I had to wait till 2012. 2012 was I was living out of town. So
flying around.
I really didn't have a residence. I didn't have a residence.
So then you missed that one.
And I missed that one.
Then 16.
It was up.
It was up.
It was up.
And then it was Trump.
Now it's up.
Now it's all the way.
Okay. So, but my point is, a lot of the black people that associate with Black Lives Matter that get pulled out at a moment's notice when a black man gets killed by a cop, a lot of them don't understand the intellectual political agenda.
They don't.
They don't come from the universities, the leaders,
right?
The organizers, the community organizers, the Barack Obamas, the community organizers. These people come from the university,
right?
And they rally all the black folks up.
All of those people,
right?
The LGBTQ,
and that's why they didn't like me and you, because
me
and you. Although we both went to university,
right?
We don't agree with those ideologies. Right. So we hit the streets and we're like, no, you don't have to go over there with them. What are they talking about? So when we were out there at the Fed, and now mind you, now we done rented a truck. We put our own money up,
Facts.
To rent a truck, rent speakers, pay security, armed security, which made a lot of the white liberals uncomfortable. But at the time, it served the narrative, so Mayor Fry and them really didn't have no problem with us walking with black men with AR-15s
who are conservative, by the way.
Did we have one cop, one liberal, one Democrat, one politician call us and tell us that we couldn't have black men walking through the streets with AR-15s?
No.
One time.
No, because if we would have had white men, though, we know they would have called.
It'd have been a problem.
It would have been a problem.
That's
so
right.
we knew this. And on the conservative side, we're playing both sides, right? Yeah. The Democratic side didn't want to say nothing because there were black people carrying a gun. Right. And you didn't even know if they had permits to carry or not. We just carried them, right? Second Amendment.
Right, Second Amendment.
Now on the Republican side,
mm-hmm.
They want to say, hey, hold on, there's a couple black guys with some big guns down there, but Second Amendment, we believe in it. Let's try to work it out. That was the line. But
some of them see black guys with guns, they still get a little nervous.
And so do the Hey, look, did we have conversations?
Look at the Hebrew Israelites, conservative, guns, went to the south side of Chicago, tried to take over O Block and do some rebuilding work, right? And everybody's, they're too radical. You got conservatives and Christians and 501c3 Christians. The Hebrew Israelites are too radical. Give me all the hitters.
Right.
Give me all the give me all the foxhole guys.
Bring me the Hebrew Israelites and the conservatives.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Y'all let it get too far to be picky and go a la carte.
Right. And I'm glad you said that.
You know when you get hungry? I don't know if people you ever been hungry than a motherfucker?
Right.
I mean, like really hungry?
Right.
Not like, oh, I could eat. Like, God damn, I got to
And I'm thirsty too.
I got to get something to eat or else I'm about to pass out. My stomach is touching my backbone.
That's where we're at.
When you get to that point, shit that tastes really, really bland and even don't taste good, tastes good. And it gives you a little energy.
Substance.
It gives you a little substance, right?
Yeah.
You motherfuckers are too picky.
Right.
You want it to be every way and always. My granddad used to say, you want it to be all the ways and every way. It can't be every way and always, right? It is the way it is. You got to deal with things the way they are. You can't have it at all the ways. You got to give up. You got to give a little to get a little.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to be giving up something no matter what choice you make in life. That's part of being a man. And you got a bunch of men. That's probably one of the most feminine qualities that men have developed in the 21st century is we tend to think that we could have what we want without any sacrifice.
Right. And
this is why Jesus Christ was a man.
Right.
Right. Because men have the capacity to understand that ultimate sacrifice.
The life sacrifice.
You feel me?
Right.
That's a man thing to do. Not saying women can't do it. Women do it in war. Mothers do it for their children when they're in danger.
Strategically.
But just universally, it's a man sacrifice.
And Jesus did it strategically.
A lot of y'all don't want to sacrifice the smallest things, let alone your entire life. You're not willing to give up your differences of opinion with the Hebrew Israelites or the Nation of Islam or even young black men who may use the F word like me.
Right.
Fuck you. Fuck off.
Right.
That's too much. I can't. I mean, the country's going down quick.
Right.
But I would much rather go down with the ship than align myself with a young militant black guy who uses the F word at will.
You never cared.
You let the country get this way.
Right.
And what I'm saying now to people is, as leaders start to emerge like myself, like a Jonathan Mason, step up to the microphone, those who come from the peanut gallery and try and shout us down for these little petty.
It ain't going to work.
Not only is it not going to work, you can tell who they are.
Right.
They're usually the people who were intimately involved in the destruction of the very thing that we're trying to change back. Matt Brodsky, you cuck rhino motherfucker. How much money can you possibly, how do you look yourself in the fucking mirror? You cuck rhino little mother. I can't wait to run into him. I cannot wait to run into him.
Because you know what? He's a grifter of all time.
How can you look yourself in the mirror as the country's going up in flames and run a candidate with the sole intention of being able to siphon off some money as a campaign manager
against the individual who has the intellect, right? No, when we went to the CD5.
No, called me an anti-Semite.
Okay. And we have nothing but Jewish friends around us. See, this is
crazy.
But this is what
it's
they do. It's
getting crazy. I'm with Jews all day, every day.
But
the Jews are saying, go harder. They're actually telling me he's not a Jew.
Right.
They're going, he's not real. Yeah, we're not claiming this little fucker.
Black folks have dealt with this, and this is why you're almost a unicorn of sorts to the Republican Party, which we knew this, right? Yeah. Anytime you can have a black man that said, hold on, I'm going to the front line for George Floyd. I can articulate right from wrong, okay? We're not going to go marching around with the LGBTQ and push their agenda. Well, that's why they slowed it down in Minneapolis. But for me to be able to say, no, and abortion's wrong, when 99% of the people who are out there with us believe opposite, but not say nothing because they know we're strong black men. That's what we need in the conservative party, because if we don't bring, and this is why this is why we need to be targeting black men, right? There's a reason why they destroyed the black family, right? And took the black man out of the, and you guys only use that as talking points, but then in all actuality, this is the conversation that will get us in the door with the black community. If I'm on the 1994 crime bill, I'm saying, and this is several stuff.
Yeah,
but
you
Joe
were saying
Biden,
it when Joe Biden. No, this was the. Let me tell the story, and
I was on it the first day, the second.
We're running out of time. Okay, we're running out of time a little bit here, but
I got to come back.
We're gonna have Jonathan Mason back on this coming week.
Yeah, this week.
We'll do Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll do a part 2 on Wednesday because Monday's Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we only do Labor Day. I'm going to have an episode on Labor Day, but we'll do it a different time.
Right.
Or you know what? Maybe we'll film part 2 of the interview tomorrow. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have part 2 drop on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, just because I talked way too much because my man Jonathan gets me hyped up. And we talk and call each other, had these conversations.
All day long.
All day, every night,
every
all
day,
the time.
all the time.
Right. So my bad, I cut you off a little bit too much.
Beautiful.
But
I loved it.
But what you're saying is so important to drive home, and I want people to understand. We were organizing these peaceful protests, not Antifa, not BLM. They didn't hang with us.
No.
We were organizing these peaceful protests as strong black men in our community, and not just us. There was about 20, 30 of us.
Right.
Okay, that were like, we going to speak. We'll speak. And the first, and the white liberal women, for the most part, out of their little sycophantic fantasy, let us do it. Right. Because, but as soon as we got up there, I could see their eyes dodging.
Right.
And I could see them looking to the black women to try and figure out the right moment to pounce so they could undermine us and unseat us and say, you black women should be up there speaking. Why are y'all letting the men speak? Because that's what they're doing to their white men. They thought they could cuck us. Right. But me, I come straight through the meeting like, bitch, shut up.
Yep.
That's how I'm coming.
We know what you're doing. You're actually anti-black men.
You're actually just anti-men.
Men, you hate us.
Yeah, but it's a bonus if it's a black man, right? Yeah, it just serves 2 purposes, right? You get your Margaret Sanger and you get your Gloria Steinem all in one. You get your what's my girl's name from the Roe v. Wade case?
The liar.
Yeah. What's her name?
Oh my gosh!
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Somebody in the comments has to say it.
You got Steinem. You got Sanger. You got.
Oh, what's her line?
She was a star witness in the Roe v. Wade case.
Can we get it? Can we pull it up quick or no?
We got to pull it up now. What was her name?
It's the
Norma McCorvey.
Oh, Norma
McCorvey. It took me a minute. Norma McCorvey. You got your Norma McCorveys, your Gloria Steinems, and your Margaret Sangers all aligned right there in that liberal white woman mix. And they play a different role.
Deadly.
The Gloria Steinems are equal pay.
Mm-hmm.
The Margaret Sangers are my body, my choice. And then the Norma McCorveys are me too. Oh, that's the trifecta of the liberal white woman.
Yeah.
So as soon as
we were in the middle of it, we're in Minnesota.
Belly of the beast.
True belly of the beast.
So as soon as me and Jonathan get up there and we bring these black men, you can see the white liberal women. They're looking, and they're, part of them's like, I wonder could I sleep with them, because that's part of the sycophantic fantasy too. And then the other part was like, I may in fact sleep with them, but I might use it as a Me Too, ploy to unseat him so that we could prop the black woman up so we can control her.
And if I get pregnant, I'm going to kill the baby.
Oh, it's outrageous. Black lives matter, but if you get pregnant with a black baby, you're going to kill it. Oh, it's getting crazy.
But that's why I got to come back.
Okay. Okay. Now, and that's not a laughing matter, but it's crazy that their psychology is that warped.
Yep.
My point is, the first time I saw you get real pushback from within the community
was it when I said,
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
And I wasn't doing trans race either. Remember the trans
race? Oh, tell that story.
Okay, so I'm in there. We're in the Black Lives Matter movement. For Matt Brodsky, that you'll probably hear this. They don't like me. I actually took down the Black Lives Matter movement here with Tryon Cruz and Chantel, and these are real names. But so we have a guy, Latino man, is saying you're abusive to black women. I'm thinking in my head, hold on, only been married to white women. White women never said anything about me. I've never been with a black woman, they had stuff, but never in relations like that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Me. I said, this got to be a joke.
Wait, say what?
A Hispanic man, he says, you're violent towards me. I said, no. I'm a black woman. So I said, this is a full stop, you guys. I love the LGBTQ community, for the most part. I got gay friends. We're not doing trans race. A black heterosexual man just got killed. You don't want heterosexual black men like me and Royce to lead, but you're telling me a Mexican Puerto Rican man is a black woman and I'm disrespectful to that? That was it. I said, that's it. I said, this is it. we're not going for this, right?
Yeah.
And every single time that you and me wanted to talk, they started, it was getting more violent. They were throwing stuff at us.
Your mom comes from the church.
Yo, my mom, see, Scandinavian white woman.
Yes.
Preacher goes right to the belly of the beast hood.
What she had to say about it, about him saying that he was a black woman.
Keep going down the middle, son. Okay, this is a Scandinavian Minnesota white woman.
It's not about race.
No, it's
when
not.
I say liberal white woman, Jonathan's mom's Scandinavian. She's a real hitter.
My wife.
She's even more. She's probably more conservative than you.
You better not pull her up. Don't please.
What did she say? What did she say about him? What does Mama Mason say?
Is he wearing a dress? Okay. You know God says don't let them put no dresses on. Hey, I said, Mom, they saying that they black women now. Okay. This is the dynamic in the psychological, and you know, Russia have said it too. When you go to demoralization, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is weapon grade psychological warfare. Anytime you can say to a black man that he's violent towards a black woman, and it's a Latino man or a white man that feels like he's a black woman, or they're saying I'm harmful to the gay community because I say men can't have babies. And where does it come from? Where does the baby come out of, the penis hole or the asshole? I'm harmful. We're not standing up for this no more. And as black conservative men, we have to say, you know what? I know we're playing basketball. I know we're playing sports. It's time for us to get back on this front line before you have. This is the reality. We're touchdown. We're live in Minneapolis. the belly of the beast. I love you, man.
This is the Right Over the Top.
Yeah.
Me and Jonathan are going to do a pod. We plan on doing a podcast called Right Over the Top. Oh, Right Over the Top's going to be a funny one.
And it's not political. It's not. When they say
it's funny, but it's not funny. It's funny because, and what's crazy about it is we're laughing because
these are the real scenarios.
We're boys, and it's just, to us, some of this stuff seems so outrageous. It actually is hysterical. I mean, it's a hysterical circumstance we're in, but it has serious, serious implications. I mean, they really want to tell the average American citizen that the number one and two thing they should be worried about is equity for the LGBTQ and the climate.
Unbelievable.
I mean, and they want black people just to blindly follow along with it. And here I am saying, look, I saw Rob Smith on, I don't know if you know who Rob Smith is. He's a black dude. He used to be running around with Candace Owens a couple years back and whatnot. Conservative voice, used to be running around with Trump. He was on the Twitter space with us the other day. And got right on there saying, he had posted something on Twitter and said, look, the black vote is not moving. It's not moving. I can tell you right now that the numbers say that the black vote is not up for grabs. There are not going to be a lot of black people that vote for Trump en masse. And I just posted the other day on Twitter. I said, of course he was a Trump supporter and now supports DeSantis. Of course he would. Of course, people like him would reaffirm the cheat-prone narrative that all blacks vote Democrat.
But Donald Trump just put the statistics out. 20% now he has of the black vote.
Oh, but
20%.
But listen, yes, but this is what the Republican Party is going to try and do. They know that Donald Trump is making inroads with the black community.
Yep.
They're going to try and stoke whatever cultural division they can to undermine. In Atlanta, in Philly.
Yeah.
They're going to try and do everything they can to undermine those inroads so they can justify the cheat.
Yep, that's it.
And
that's why Fanny's on there.
This is what Fanny's
on
about
there.
What in New York City?
Eric Adams.
What about Bragg?
Oh, yep.
Him too.
Yeah, Bragg. Yep.
And the other one
Southern District of New York.
And the other one from D.C.
Yeah.
Three black women and a black man. And they're the ones who are leading the indictments against Donald Trump. What do you think they're trying to stoke?
Okay.
They're trying to get white people
to be upset with black folks.
To be upset with black folks and make it seem like black folks are the ones
using the law
who are going after Donald Trump. They don't represent us.
No,
Fannie Willis, she don't. And that's why I love that the dude who wore the niggas for Trump shirt
said it. She went to school with my sister.
I know her.
She
been a clown.
Sell out.
Been a clown.
Right.
And you and I experienced it in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And so there is a grassroots black movement that's coming that could help Donald Trump get over the finish line.
And we're coming.
And let's say they cheat him. At least when it's all said and done and the smoke is clear, the people who are in the gym who saw the refs cheat actually feel like they were cheated. Right? When you if we're playing a basketball game and the ref is cheating one team and we just throw our hands up and say we quit,
then you look bad.
Well, no, all the people who are there watching the game say, "Oh, well, game's over. We're gonna go home. Time to go back to life."
Right.
But when you put on that performance and you give everything you have and you inspire, despite the cheating, and you inspire that crowd, you inspire something in them, a resilience that they can relate to or that they aspire to. When they leave that gym, they talk about that game for 7 days straight. Right. Man, I can't believe they cheated that team like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how we got to approach politics right now.
The black community has felt cheated like that, as if their vote doesn't count. Yes, we can talk about the roles that switched and the KKK was the Democratic Party. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Now, though, let's show them. Let's show them the way, because black folks right now are being led to the slaughter right now. Right. They have been locked up more than under Biden. Regardless, we can continue to push these talking points. There's no other presidents, Obama, Clinton, and Biden together, have locked up more black men in history than 4 Republican presidents. Ronald Reagan, okay, the war on drugs, Bush,
wait, hold on, before you go there, Saint Reagan. And I know conservatives, they love Ronald Reagan. And
he helped China out too. Let's just say it.
Okay. No, let's go straight to the heart of the matter. And these are what I mean by these cultural symbols or cultural nostalgic sort of relics that we hang on to. That we hang on to and use as the cornerstone of our political worldview, like a Reagan.
Right.
Second Amendment conservatives, Reagan, who said that the American streets should be so safe no American citizen need carry a loaded gun?
Sounds like tyranny.
I don't give a fuck how safe the streets get. You still need a loaded gun.
Period.
The loaded guns are what are going to make the streets safe.
Right.
So saying that there could ever be some utopian society where people are so healthy, so sane, so reasonable, so fair, so nonviolent that the American citizen doesn't need a gun is to basically lead the way to give us over to China.
Right.
Right? Okay, so Reagan started the whole thing.
War on drugs.
Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger.
He came with Nixon.
Yep. Nixon sending jobs to China.
So it was really
it was the Republican Party.
It was neocons first. That's my point. Right. The neocons.
We're getting down to the bottom.
The neocons put the Democrats. These people were Democrats.
Then slipping in Lyndon B. Johnson and then the black community.
Neocon.
Bingo.
Okay. Raging neocon.
Right.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Right.
All the neoliberal. Okay.
Neoliberal.
Same thing.
Yeah.
This is the uniparty.
Yep. That's how you know they're in on it.
We have not had a non-uniparty president since the last one whose head they blew off. Kennedy. Now, don't get me wrong. Kennedy was a uniparty president.
Right.
From a mechanism standpoint.
Right.
The fact that he could resonate, that he was considered moderate, he was a more conservative Democrat.
Right.
Catholic.
Right.
First Catholic, the whole nine.
The good-looking man.
Educated.
Yeah.
Spoke well. All the whole nine.
New Yankee.
Okay. So he was like the first moderate uniparty superstar. Okay. But then his rhetoric, his ideology, his
the military-industrial complex that he wouldn't go with.
Whacked him.
Got him.
Okay. So now you got the military-industrial complex, you got the neocon, neoliberal order, and then they all created this circumstance for this democratic landslide with presidents.
Right.
And again, like you said, Biden, Obama, and Clinton
locked up more black men than Trump, Bush, and Reagan. Okay. So when when you have those type of numbers in the black men, now this is what I was telling black people in the community right now. Joe Biden just got found with an ounce of cocaine in the White House and they said no cameras or nobody found it.
Hunter Biden.
Joe Biden, West Wing. It could be Hunter or him. No, we got Hunter Biden on
Joe ain't doing no coke.
Somebody in his family
Joe
is.
can barely drink water.
Okay. So it's Hunter. We're assuming it's Hunter, okay?
I just don't believe that Joe can,
it was
Joe
white.
can do a
It was
line
white.
and
He
survive
smokes
it
crack.
right now. Okay.
We know the difference between crack and white.
Yeah.
Crack is a little better high.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's why
10 times better.
10 times better. And he has money from Ukraine and other places that he can just smoke as much as he wants.
Oh, Ukraine, Russia, China.
But he records it though.
Who?
Hunter, I got the video of him running around on the beach. One more in, I'm coming in. Okay, we'll be posting this on my show, the Jonathan Mason Show, right? Running on the beaches with his girlfriend, high as hell, with a crack pipe, falling asleep with it. We got that. We also have him with the strip. Okay, don't love our strippers, right? Joe Biden talks about his grandkids all the time.
Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. We should be.
Jesus
we
loved
should
her.
minister. We should minister to the strippers.
Say no more, okay, sweetie.
Matter of fact, I don't. Another 501c3 Christian scam.
Yeah,
there's all these people who y'all can't minister to.
Right. No, go to the belly of the beast.
Okay, but y'all steady trying to convince liberal white women.
Are we close on time? Or
we're getting close, but you're steady trying to convince liberal white women,
right,
that they should vote with their common sense. Right. But all these people who live out there in the world, who really have to deal with common sense in order to survive,
right?
Like drug dealers and strippers and gangsters and not just blacks, but I'm talking whites too. The trailer park,
right?
You don't want to minister to them,
right?
But
Joel Osteen.
These people are much closer to common sense than the yuppie bourgeois, undereducated, overeducated, underintelligent motherfuckers y'all want to convince.
These people that the most marginalized groups many times has said, I'm not going along with the system, and they've been shunned out.
Those are really the most marginalized
Those
people.
Are the real marginalized.
The most marginalized people in the country, and I hate to even use the word marginalized because it's so hijacked, but let's be adults here.
Right.
The most marginalized people are the people who do not trust the establishment, who don't trust the status quo, who don't trust the narrative.
Right.
These are the people who get marginalized. Right. Alex Jones is marginalized.
Right. You're going to sue him for $1 billion. We don't want to give Royce $300 million.
Whoever has been sued for $1 billion.
No,
how much more?
Take it all.
How much more marginalized can you get than that?
No, but going back to this point real quick for the Conservative Party for black votes, right? Mm-hmm. We've got to hit home. Joe Biden, the same one that son smokes crack, ironically and coincidentally, are the same ones that locked your daddies and your brothers and your kids up for 30 years, only for you guys to get out 30 years from 1994 is 2024 for you to vote for him again. Whoa. So where's the disconnect in the black community where you can be put away for that much time in the same year he got white? We call it white, but cocaine in the White House, and it goes unchecked. We have a big disconnect for the black community, okay? And so we talk about mass incarceration. This is why I'm making inroads in the black community, because they're saying, look, they're locking now. Guess what? They just made weed legal in Minnesota. Now black people are now getting locked up at alarming rates for weed. Now this is it now because
wait, what?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, bro. Now
what's going on?
Now, because weed is legal, black people, Mayan Burrell just got caught with a gun with weed, okay? If you know this too, and I always say this to the white folks too.
Wait. How are they getting locked up for weed if weed is legal?
If weed is legal, but you can't have it around a firearm or it's a felony. So I said, oh, well, you can target black people like that because the dispensaries, I say this, dispensaries have armed guards sitting at the door at the weed dispensaries. Why ain't that a felony? Or is alcohol around a firearm, should that be a felony? And I said,
let's breathalyze all the cops.
Or
no, wait, every police officer, is there a huge alcoholism problem in the police force?
Admitted.
Why don't we breathalyze every cop in order to get in the patrol car?
See, Royce, you might.
Is that a problem?
Ooh.
What's wrong with that? Is that too expensive?
Every time an officer gets in the car, those breathalyzer tests that are in the other ones, he has to take every day before he starts the car.
That's not with the cams on. So
your
partner can't do it for you.
Correct.
This is easy. You could be drunk as a cop. You just can't be drunk on the job with a firearm.
Correct. Okay. Now, if I wanted to target white men, and this is what I tell the white men, now, there are black people going into policing. Now, they could target you if they wanted to. Say if I went up north during November hunting season and I see camo and orange material clothing in your pickup trucks with your guns in the back with a 24 pack, and you maybe cracked a couple on the way up there prior. And I said, buddy, step out the vehicle, please, man. Oh, guns and alcohol, felony. This is what we're doing in our society. And black people are yes, the LGBTQ community and all these groups are going to be fighting about felonies to be dropped. That's a lot of different fights. Our freedoms right now are hanging in those margins of error.
The LGBTQ.
And we love them. We love them, but
I don't love them.
Right.
I don't.
Well, I'm talking about as human beings, I treat them fairly, but what I'm saying is,
fuck them to me. Fuck them. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it.
But I'm talking about for the movement piece, where they come in to hijack the movement.
No, what I'm saying is this.
Go ahead. Go down the middle then.
I got people in my family.
Oh, down the middle then.
My god sister.
Yeah.
Lesbian, been a lesbian since she was 11 years old. Love her to death. One of my closest relatives.
Thanks.
She would not support the shit they're doing right now.
No, absolutely. And a lot of gay folks don't.
A lot of gay folks don't support that shit. They don't even represent the gay. They're doing exactly what they do to black people. They're rounding them up and putting a few whack jobs who are bought and paid for and stamping it, rubber stamping the movement.
That's it.
And so when I say the LGBTQ,
it's the movement.
No, I'm talking about specifically the people who are putting the shit in the schools and the people who are using the shit to say it's replacing being black. I had a white liberal woman tell me online today, oh, why are you attacking a movement that includes black people too? That's the new thing now.
Oh,
now they got to talk about. So now they go for the identity that's sexual based. And first off, let me tell you, and I hope you still got to, we're going to be wrapping up here, but a movement being about immutable identity versus a movement that is about subjective identity.
Right.
And to blend the two opens a revolving door to bring anybody that you can tell that they have a grievance into the movement, right?
But you have the power to shut down anybody that doesn't align with
there you go. But
down.
My skin color is immutable.
Right.
Can't do nothing about it.
Your sexuality.
My sexuality is not immutable. In fact, sex by definition is a choice.
Facts.
By definition.
Right.
If I choose to have sex or I don't choose to be black or not. Now, because they've let so many black people into the transgender movement, now they're going to do, like you said, trans race.
Right.
I'm a black woman.
Right.
You're not a black woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
So anybody to me, and I say this is the same for the 501c3 Christians.
Right.
If you're a 501c3 Christian and you let Satanists take over the government, fuck you.
Right.
If you're a transgender or LGBTQ person or a black woman and you let the LGBTQ, let a Mexican man say that he's
a black woman,
then it's fuck you. I don't have to tip. I'm not going to play with y'all.
Right.
Come back to the middle to sane ground or it's fuck you. If you ain't on sane ground.
Right. Because these are just the reality facts that we're living in.
I'm not about to go out to La La Land with y'all.
Men can't get pregnant. They can't. We're not doing it.
You cannot wake up one morning and say, at the drop of a dime, I'm a black woman. How do black women? And you know what the most disgusting thing was?
Black women are allowing it.
I saw black women let it happen.
Oh, and they're cheering for it.
I went to the black women. I said, "Y'all are letting him say he's a black woman."
It's time for me to go.
And you know what a few black women said to me? Well, if that's how he feels in his spirit, you never know what somebody's spirit is like. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not about to play with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going.
It's time to go down.
My grandmother was still alive at the time, and she wouldn't like me using the word bitch, but she certainly wouldn't appreciate me.
And grandma and them used to put the switch upside you.
Oh, they wouldn't allowed it. They wouldn't have allowed it.
You not finna come in my house. At least
my elders.
Do that on the west side of Chicago with my grandma and them. Baby, don't come up in here with that funny stuff, okay?
Yeah, we ain't playing that.
We're not bringing no funny, goofy stuff. I don't know what you learned from the white folks.
Might have let the kids run
That's what they're going to tell you.
Might have let the kids run around the neighborhood a little too much. Might have gave the kids not enough supervision in certain ways.
Right.
Might have not been able to fill the role that dad was vacant with. But I tell you one thing.
Come in the house with that.
Come in the house with that funny business. They gonna take time out to check you about that.
Like grandma said, I had 19 kids, baby, and not nan one of them did listen to me. Oh, so okay. So that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Come on. So, hey, It's been a blast having you in the studio
too,
today.
brother. I love
appreciate
you,
you driving by. Stay tuned for part 2. The next Please Call Me Crazy on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Next Wednesday night after Labor Day will be part 2 of the Jonathan Mason interview, and I'm going to let people get to know you in that interview, your backstory, where you grew up, how you grew up,
everything.
Dad, mom, Chicago. You got an incredible story. But today, specifically, I just want people to see the dynamic and the energy and the momentum that's building for black men around Donald Trump and the populist nationalist movement, the American patriot movement, the America First movement that can actually save the country. This is the energy right here.
Right.
This is the real energy that exists out there, that if the Minnesota GOP or any GOP affiliate at the state level or the RNC doesn't want to tap into, do not let them tell you it's because it doesn't exist.
Right.
Understand that they're going on the record and making a choice in the interest of something. You get to decide what it is.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. This is my guy right here. Jonathan Mason, the Jonathan Mason Show coming soon. Right over the top, coming soon. You can follow Jonathan Mason on social media. He's on a number of social media accounts.
Mr. Jonathan Mason on Instagram. Jonathan Mason on Facebook.
Jonathan Mason on Facebook.
And, until we get all the platforms going, the Jonathan Mason Show,
Yeah, the Jonathan Mason Show is coming soon. We got a lot more of him in the future. We appreciate everybody's listenership and viewership today and in the future. Stay tuned for another Family and Friends episode next Friday, but we're going to do an extra one on Wednesday with Jonathan Mason. I'll see you all on Labor Day for a special Labor Day episode. It's been real. The fight continues. Don't die a jerk off. And as always, Godspeed.